Hello everybody and welcome back to Silverrun Forest. So in this episode we're carrying on from where we left off, which was trying to fell this bit of woodland to make room for planting some more trees. I have already just gone round the outside and gathered up a full trailer and a half load up in our big sort of wood, what do you call it, our big wood trailer, let's say. So I have gathered a load and a half up there. We still have a big pile down near the train line to collect. But what I'm thinking is what we have already collected so far, we can leave that in our trailer, and that can be sort of what we need production-wise, timber, which obviously there's the wood turner and there is our sawmill to keep going. So that's my plan with that. I'm also thinking of leasing, because we don't have the money at the moment, is leasing the base game wood trailer that you get, wood lorry and trailer, and I think we can use that to then start maybe looking at selling some timber, because I do think we have a fair amount to go at. So this episode I want to clear this, ideally clear this, get it topped off, get the stumps out and then get it replanted. So this will be the focus of the episode. We haven't moved on another month since the last one, so there won't be any more sheep to buy for our enclosure. The only thing that's slightly concerning is because we're using the realistic livestock mod, they will not be producing, once we get to the winter, they will not be producing any wool, or at least that's what I'm led to believe. So we've only got this short time to really make an impact, and then our spinnery will be sat doing nothing, like it is already now. Okay, so a slight problem. These I think are 6 metres, and I think we can only load 5 metres by the looks of that, which is why the load isn't looking the greatest. Well, anyways, we're here, so this is the first time we are using the old sawmill, which is quite nice, which, if I remember rightly, we just reverse into here, release the straps, I think, and it should just start loading. The pond seems a lot smaller in this, so if we release the straps, are they going to go? Do we need to go further in? Why is that not working? Okay, interesting. Do we have to do anything? I don't know why they're not going in. What is it? Is it F? No, that's not the one I want. One of these buttons. So the whole thing should be the trigger, if I remember rightly. That's ours. Well, that's very interesting. I don't know where we get these in here. So let's just go over to here. Let's see if we need to press anything on here. Unless we've got to buy it, but I didn't think that's what you had to do. Why is the trigger not working now? Well, that's definitely spinning. Oh, it's gone. Oh, we've got to press the trigger. Oops, I just thought you had to just drive in. Well, that's given us plenty of money. I forget what it was, but it was definitely, I think it's definitely paid the lease on this. And we could really do, we're finding out how much this is. Let's just go to this trigger. Because I think we maybe, it wasn't in the plan, but if we go buy... Okay, we're not going to be able to buy that. What I was going to say is, I've just noticed a collectible. So if we go over to here, I know there is one or two around the sawmill, but I'm going to leave them for now. Because I think, is there one up there on that bank or that bank? And then there is one actually in the sawmill somewhere. I don't quite know, but I do feel we haven't collected one for a while, so we might as well go for a bit of diving. Shoo! And we'll get this one here, which this is a fish. I'm going to guess it's a salmon, is that right? Bass. Okay, I can't even say I was close on that one. But what we'll go do is that's got us to 238 and we need 390. So we'll go do another load, which should take the majority, I would hope. Then if not, we will we'll just move. Ooh, we'll move a load to the side. Oh, we're chasing the train here. You can just see it in the distance in front of us. But yeah, we'll get another load, get that sold. We may even look at doing a contract now, because this was £15,000 to lease. So a contract may just pay for us for the usage of this. And here we have another full load. We have cleared the rest of it, so now the rest of the timber is over here. So this is our little stockpile in case we're ever getting short, because we've cut more than enough timber than what we need for the time being. So we'll take this up to the old sawmill, get this sold, and then we can look at topping where we've just cut and hopefully getting rid of all those stumps. Again, I'm going to leave the rocks. I think I quite like the look of them in there. And then we'll have to decide what we're going to plant, because what we planted originally, there's two different types of trees there, but only one is really growing. And I think the stone pine or whatever it is, we put that in Oakbridge Farm and that's hardly growing at all. So we may just put, well, Scotch pine I think it was. So we may just, was it Scotch? I can't remember, I'll have to have a look. But I may look at putting some pine trees in and something a bit different, just so that our, well, they didn't look to the left, did they? Just to give it a bit of variation. But we'll go get this sold first. So this time there'll be no messing about, it will be reversing, and we'll go click the trigger over there instead of just waiting here for something to happen. So let's put that on, straps off, let's run over here. Like so. And that is 22,868. So we could, if we wanted, we do have the leasing mod on here, so we could go and lease this now, and all the timber that we've been paid for will still be there for us and we can use it. That I think would be cheating, so we are going to leave it at least a month, which it should have burnt through everything that's there by that time. And then we'll look to buy it. If there is a little left in there, then brilliant, then brilliant for us. But at least we're not deliberately sort of going out our way to maximise getting paid for timber that we then can turn into products. So basically being paid twice, especially if we are looking to lease it for the time being. But I'm hoping that we may be able to, in an episode or two, be able to buy that if we're clever with our money and I don't get a bit trigger happy where if we see something go, oh, let's just have that, oh, let's have that. But we'll return this now to the store. I don't think we're going to do a contract, because I think I would like to get the stumps out, top it and get it replanted this episode, so I think that will take up the majority of the episode. So we are just going to pull this into the dealership our old Volvos here, which we may just use this to do the topping considering it's here. So we pull that into there like so. We'll go onto our menu and look at, so our topper, I think it's 140, well that tractor's 140 horsepower. So let's have a look at here. In the previous episode, when we did the topping, we used that, which was 3.4 metres, and that was perfect for what we wanted. These, there's one of these that's slightly bigger, is it not? Well, 3.5, so we could use that if we wanted. Put that onto the back. We used the backwind mower to cut the grass, so I am looking just to see if there is anything else that we could use. That's 180, so we can't use that. We could use the Vermeer. Let's use the Vermeer. I think we're going to just lease it though, we don't need to buy it. And if we hop out, we can go into here, we'll just make sure our tractor's fully... Does it need any repair? Well, £20 we might as well. This we can return. Now let's jump into here. We haven't used this for a while, have we? Sort of looking very sorry for itself, abandoned where it is. We're just back onto here. I just need to try and remember which keybind it is for the real mower, real mulcher, so we can get rid of all the bushes and tidy that, well, really tidy that area up so it looks as good as what this other bit we've done. And then in the future, I think it'll be this block of woodland here to go next. So we are trying to keep it looking something like alright. But when we've topped this bit here, all the grass should be the same. So I think, let me just find which button it is. So that should be it. So if we turn that on and drop that down, there should be no... Oh, we're leaving grass there. Well, that's not too bad. We can always get rid of that. I was hoping we'll get over these stumps alright with this mower. But that seems to be taking everything out quite alright. Bar these stumps, which are not ideal for it. But we do have some lovely grass left over from when we last did this. That big spruce tree that was here, I did just take that out by hand, so that's no longer here. And there's a brilliant measuring mod. So when you cut a tree down, you can measure it. It puts a blue ring for whatever size you set. So we use that to get rid, to make sure that everything that we've cut is all uniform. So let's just go around here. We can now lift that up. Let's do a tight turn. There's also a stump there that needs to go. Once we've done this outside, this will be the worst part. Let's drop back down again. I don't know whether we'll touch all this bit here. Oh, we've hit another stump. Well, that's quite a big stump, to be fair. I don't know whether we'll touch all this bit, but I'm certainly glad that we left this. Ooh, what have we hit there? Something quite big. I think this is going to be what's going to happen this episode. Well, this time lapse when we eventually go into one. We're getting over them though. I'm glad I left these. Oh, that's that stump there. That's fairly substantial for a little stump. I'm glad we left these trees here. It does just keep making it so it doesn't look like we've just destroyed the place of everything. So we are almost there. This was one big block to do, and then I think it's more on this right hand side where there's a few more to get done, and then there's odds and sods in the middle. I do love this skid steer though. If there's one thing I could improve, it would be the responsiveness on your pedals and when you're going forwards and backwards. But what is lovely, unlike other skid steers, if you turn your steering wheel, the machine automatically starts spinning around. Whilst this one, like now I'm turning to the right, I'm turning to the left. If it doesn't do it on a joystick, I'll just try it on, and on the steering wheel it's the same. So I've just been steering wheel and it's not moving at all. Which is brilliant, because I know on Oakbridge Farm, that's one thing I was struggling with when we got the big Kubota. Because if you weren't careful, you'd just start turning, and anything that you're trying to do precise was made a lot harder. But we'll quickly get these done, which shouldn't take too long, and then we will have to look at what trees we want, which luckily we can just go through, just have a quick run, which, that's what I mean about the responsiveness. Whilst that's doing that, let's hop out. I think these are lodgepole. Okay, they're not. Ponderosa. So that means these must be lodgepole. So out of the two, what do we get in there? Do we get 60 in there? Is that still going? I think we got 60 into there, 4 lots. So if we look at anything but Ponderosa and lodgepole, which if we go onto here, let's scroll down and we can go to tree saplings. So we don't want any of these yet. We've got lodgepole in already. So do we go, I think it's Scotch pine. I put it on Oakbridge Farm. It took them forever, but for something different, let's buy 2. And then I would like to find, we've got that pine. Let's do 2 pine as well. That should now be plenty. I'm hoping they're not 40 a piece. Okay, brilliant, they're not 40 a piece. So that's 80 that we should be able to get into here. And then hopefully the next month, this ground, the grass would have grown back similar to what's next door, which will make it look a very lovely place, especially with all the different sizes of trees now that we're getting. Make it a bit of a patchwork quilt. Just moving on to the last stump now, or at least what I believe to be the last one. Shouldn't take much longer, then that'll be gone, like so. Right, we can turn this off and just pull this to the side. I do like how the blade doesn't instantly stop spinning. Just nice those little touches like that just make all the difference. So we'll park this here, turn this off, we can then go into here, return this, so return the mower, we don't need that anymore. We now want tree planters, we want this, let's lease. So we are spending a lot of the money that we have made today, we are soon spending it all, but hopefully in time we will make it all back. Especially if you think about it, the amount of money that we must have in timber and the products we're making. Right, obviously we've got that full trailer load there of timber. We then have the 2 piles of timber down here, which I would guess we will keep adding to this because we'll take a fair bit of time, especially if we're wanting to get rid of fell all these trees here. But we don't want to do that till with the other side, where the trees, we let some trees get established before we felled a load more. I think it just makes it so that the area doesn't look too barren and bare all at the same time. So let's get this on, and if we go for, we'll try and get the Scotch pine first. So if we go from over here, I know it's a fair bit of a distance, but I know what these planters are like. You can soon gather the wrong pallet up if you're not careful. So again, Why is that not loading? There we go. See how it took the opposite one to what we wanted? So that's why I just want to be careful with that. We are going to do... there's a fence there. On the last one we went round, we did sort of the headland as it were first. This time we're going to do up-downs, so that we shouldn't get like this line here, where there's a line all on the same tree. And my plan is going with these ones first. I think these take longer than the next ones, so that's than the pine trees. So if that is the case, it means we will have a slight gap between the two. So like in there's a few trees that haven't grown yet. This should mean that everything should be uneven. We're not all going to have everything the same height, which I'm hoping will add to sort of the realism and how it would look when people do it in real life. Is 80 trees, so we're gonna need some more. This is ridiculous. So if we go, oh, did we get spruce or did we get pine? So let's buy another thing of pine trees. Let's go and get some Scotch pine. So let's buy them, and what I will do is we will go put we'll finish these. I'm hoping we'll get another row and a bit with these ones, so it should get us down, and it may get us halfway up, and if not we will then look at getting some pine trees and we can put them in to finish this off. It would be nice if the game told you what trees you're planting. Obviously we've got a rough idea because we've just bought them, but in the bottom right just above the speedo where it says tree saplings, it'd be lovely if it actually did say which one it is. It would make life a lot easier, because I'm just sort of going off the look of them to try and remember which ones I'm putting where. But I've got to remember to leave a gap here because the next pallet needs to go through. The next pallet needs to be in the gap between this, otherwise we'll have two of the same sort of tree next to each other. And I'm nigh on certain it was spruce that I bought first time, which that's what I wanted, so I'm quite glad we didn't get the pine ones. But we can always add, we won't get very close to that side there, we could always add pine right on to the very end if need be, just for something just slightly different. So we'll put that tree there, and it generally works out at just one turn round is where we want to be. So we put one there and head for that bush just to the left of the stone. We shouldn't be too far off, and I think I may just do that, put some spruce right on the edge to fill in that gap, because with the other one we should get this line and go down, but it's all we don't know. Like, I'd love to finish this line off that we're on now instead of just leaving it like so it may be another one of each and one of spruce, but we will have a lot of trees in this little area. Well, I've definitely planted these far too close together, I think. We'll be interested to see how many we actually get which die, because again I think it's the third time I've probably compared to Oakbridge Farm. We had quite a few of the lodgepole, I think they were, where a lot of them, maybe half of what we put in didn't survive, which can happen in real life. I know a lot of the tree planting that that I've been doing, you know, we've lost a few, and you just replant, you sort of replant every year, take those ones out and replace them, which does make it quite nice that over the years they're not all the same height, which is something that I quite like. But what are we on? We're on 8, so this is going to be similar. We're only going to get halfway up. So I think one more tree off here, which is there. Let's lift her up and spin round. We'll get as high as what we can here. And then I think one more pallet of each. That's taken some time to come out, that tree. One more pallet of each, and then we'll get a pallet of pine, and that should do. But that will now be 120, and if we add another three more pallets, that'll be 180 trees in this little area. I just hope my system can cope with having so many trees. So let's finish that off, and let's go to here. We want one thing of spruce. I may have got it the wrong way around now. Let's buy one of pine. Let's go to Scotch pine. Let's buy that. So we just need to make sure that the spruce pallet we don't pick up, because that wants to be last. And I have just realised we did get it wrong. It was the spruce trees were the ones I wanted. I've just gone for a whole pine forest now. So I have a feeling these are going to take a long time to grow. So we may have just wasted this whole area. The next area we will have to make sure is completely full of spruce trees, which is rather annoying that I've done that. Which some would say that is a complete rookie error. But I'm hoping this will get us back down to the bottom. That's the idea. So we'll plant that one there. Let's spin round, and then we are going to have to ram as many spruce trees as we can down that side. Otherwise, we're going to not have a lot of. Well, we've got plenty of wood to go at, definitely. But for the future, for aesthetics, maybe not. The final two, well, now one of the pine trees. That one in, so we'll go get some spruce, which we may just need one more pallet of that, and then that may do us. It's taking a lot longer than what I thought to get these in, so we'll just quickly nip off and I'll bring you back when we're doing the last of the spruce trees. So we have doubled up here. This will be almost like quick fire loading of trees. So I'll put 2 pallets on the back, so there'll be 40 spruce trees going in. I don't know whether, can we plant in a rock? No, it's got to plant just on the outside. Yeah, so 40 spruce trees going in, and I can't bring myself to spend any more money, because I would say we've done maybe 10 pallets. So that'll be £10,000 in trees, which, yes, it will make us a lot of money in the future, but as I've said before, I think I've seriously messed up by putting the wrong trees in, so it could be a fair while until we see any benefit from this at all. But at least we're getting some spruce in, which that's the main thing. So I will at some point, I'd like to get some oak trees put in, but wherever I put oak trees, they're not going to be trees that I want to cut down. I know you get a lot of timber and they grow, I think, is it two years and they're fully grown? So I think more for the visual effect of having them, and obviously from the UK, oaks are a very prominent tree. They are lovely to see. One tree sapling left to go, and do we just need one? I think we need one more. Oh, this is just... Right, we'll go and fetch this, and this is definitely the last one. We'll go up and we will go down, and that'll be it. One thing's for certain, we shouldn't have to plant any more trees anytime soon, because once these do eventually grow, we're going to be inundated with trees and timber, because there's certainly more trees now on the map than what there was at the beginning, because they do space them out quite well when you first start, which I think is for a performance side of things. But right, we have 2 more to put down. 1 and 2. Brilliant. So before we get charged anymore, let's go on to here. Let's return this. Yes, please. If we turn this off and just hop up into the air quickly. like so. That now is a fair area. It's much bigger. Well, not much bigger, but it's... We go further down here, don't we? So, and I think we've left smaller gaps by the looks of it. So if we just whiz into here, you can see the gaps there between the trees. Whiz over here. Oh, they're about the same, maybe. Oh, well, I honestly don't know. And like I say, the plan is in one of the next episodes to fell all this and get all this planted. So we'll have 3 lovely areas planted. We can go into here. We also have back here that we can go into. I think we own all this here. And then we have up here. But I think with the bank and the hill and whatnot, this would be worth leaving and just focusing on this big area we have down here. On that note now, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.